Down one.
There we go. What's going on, brothers? How you guys doing? Welcome to Black Men's Congregation. This is Black Men's Congregation being hosted by Black Male Talk and Man of Tomorrow. We want to have more life coaching discussions and dialogue with the brothers. These are decisions and techniques that you as men can take, put it in your pocket, pull it out when you need it. Ask yourself these questions at night, during the day, when you start the early morning, before you crank up your truck, before you get in your car, before you talk to a woman, before you take on a job. These are questions that us as men, we need to start asking ourselves. But the question that we bring before you as a congregation, as a body of men, I would want to ask you guys, are you willing to suffer to get to salvation? That is the question that we're bringing before a lot of you men today that I feel is very important. Because a lot of men say that they want to be successful. A lot of men say that they want to have the money and the assets and the networking and the different assortment of things that are gained and, taken part of in life. But I see very few willing to work and labor in the fields and sweat and, work till their back is about to give out and keep on going until they get a bountiful harvest. MOT, in the question that we ask these men, are you willing to suffer to get to the salvation? Why is that an important question that us as men, we need to ask ourselves?
I mean, it's important simply because not only are you going to respect the past, but you also are going to not really give away your hard work or waste time on people who you shouldn't be wasting on once you actually get to the actual point of things. And you should always pay attention to why you're on that path. You should also be very mindful of people who are there trying to help you. But there's going to be a lot of people who want to cannibalize your success for theirs. They're going to try to guilt trip you. They're going to try to play this community nonsense game, all type of slick little maneuvers, try to cannibalize your success for them whenever you do make it. So you have to be very mindful of the path.
I want to say, I see a lot of men that are gawking and looking at what the other man has, or I hear people talking about this race has this or that, or this gender is doing that, or these women are doing this and that. But see, at some point, the time you waste in putting that energy into wondering about the next man, about what they are doing and what they're taking part in, you got to ask yourself this question, brothers. What are you doing? What are you willing to do to get to the level that you believe you deserve? Are you willing to start cutting off the people that you're dealing with right now? Are you willing to leave that woman alone and go alone and do what you need to do? Are you willing to actually start putting your money in your pocket rather than going out and spending it and splurging it on things you do not have? Do you spend more time on YouTube watching other men and saying, man, I want to be like that guy? Or do you go into a library or go start picking up skills and trades and start actually putting in the work and the effort that a lot of these men are doing? Because mind you, some of these guys that you listen to these tapes and these things, they're getting paid. That is their job. That's their job. You buying volume 7 and 8, but you ain't even do the first volume. You didn't even go out and start putting the aptitude of the knowledge that you were given to work. You see, you want the paycheck, but you ain't willing to do what it takes that is necessary to get the paycheck. And you see, that's the fraudulent thing that a lot of us brothers, we need to start looking at and start observing. We say that we were kings. I don't say that, but I hear a lot of y'all guys run around saying that. But to have a kingdom, that means you got to build a kingdom. I ain't never seen a man run an empire, but then never build an empire. You can blame the Indian. See, one thing I noticed, and I had to stop one brother. He was getting on, well, the Indian man is doing this, and they're taking over the store and stuff. I said, that man's store is open every day. Every day. Holidays, it's open. His birthday, it's open. Can you say you have the same conviction, brother, to do the same thing? What are you lacking in? I mean, MOT, I don't want to say I'm beating up on them, but but that's how sometimes I understand some brothers, they come at me, they even told me, BMT, I feel like you're beating up on them. Why do they feel like when we talk about this kind of talk, it feels like they're being beat up or they feel like they're being talked down? You know, he's getting his mic fixed. MOT. Well, I think he got his mic. He got to get that fixed.
Joe, you there?
I'm right here. I'm right here. I was asking the question, why do they feel like when one man asks them the question that we need to start asking ourselves, are you willing to suffer it and go through some changes in your life? Why do they feel like their character is being attacked? Or is it them? Is it they feel like we're attacking their character? Or is this something that they should already be attacking their own selves to actually want to change?
Yeah, I mean, you have to realize that some of these situations that people have been raised into, they just have not, they get to 18, 19 years old, and that's the point where they have to realize or even operate in the real world, And I mean, I'm not giving these people excuses, but hey, you got to get out there and relearn the things that you should have learned. Because, like you said, that dude, that store that's open, he didn't do anything real hellified. He just looked at a building, had nothing in it. He went inside, he cleaned up the building, he painted the outside, he bought racks, he did a lot of stuff. And that dude's there 12 to 15, sometimes 18 hours a day. Do you have that level of knowledge to be able to go do something like that? And what he's doing is really not even all that hard.
Mm-hmm.
All he does is just set it up, and the people come through. It's just that you got to start spending your time on other things, man. Like, you're not going to be one of these stupid millionaires. It's just not going to happen for most people.
Right.
This rap album you're trying to release, like, dude, hey, man, get a trade and do that in your off time. So that way, if that stuff that you're wasting your time on don't fall through, at least you got a way to be able to take care of yourself. And it takes a lot of investment in yourself and try to visualize where you're going, man. I mean, because if you're just working 12 to 15 hours a day and like fast food, like, hey, man, you got to understand that you can work far less hours somewhere else and use that money that you get to invest in yourself. So that way you can get out of those situations. And you got to learn the lesson to stay out of those situations as well. It isn't just learning to just get out of them. You have to stay out of them. Prove that you learned the lesson long term,
Mm-hmm. One thing I could say about when you're going through, as you suffer it out, and you're going through. I remember I had a spending problem. I was spending my money on things that I didn't need. I said, man, and you know, my dad said, boy, you make $1,100 a week. You go out, you do this job, you travel out of the state, you come back, and within 2 to 3 days, you broke. And you're having to ask me and your mama for money. And I said, well, Daddy, I mean, you always on my back. He said, one day you ain't gonna have the strength that you have, boy. And that's something that I want to tell a lot of you brothers, that we need to start learning how to discipline. Let that be a word that y'all hear today. We need to start learning how to discipline ourselves. Just because you have it, don't mean you got to spend it. Just because you have people all of a sudden talking to you, don't mean you have to give them the time of day and acknowledge them and give them what you work hard for. You need to learn how to take a step back and develop yourself. Remember why you did what you did to get to where you're going. Understand this. You don't think that these women, when they're doing these things, you think they thinking about you? No, they are thinking about how can listen, the reason why a lot of these women are in the position they are now, but they realize that, all this stuff I'm going through, I don't need no help from no man. And see, if you take anything from that of the woman understood that, listen, all the stuff I'm suffering through, you can't tell me nothing. You think I could tell MOT how to run his life and how to do his stuff after the things he done went through and gone through in his life to get to where he's at today? That I could never do that. And it'll be the same thing, vice versa, from me to you. You see, when you're willing to callous yourself through the abuse that you put yourself through to get to where you are today. You see, that's the thing about it when it comes to getting to that next level of life, where you don't have to worry about somebody shooting up your house. You don't have to worry about you being involved with the same people that were doing you no good, because you learned that, listen, I can do bad all by myself, and I will do that for myself. I don't need you guys. It takes courage now. I ain't say it's gonna be easy. I'm not telling you, brothers, that you're gonna have every day is gonna be easy. But see, at some point you gotta wake up. It hurts my heart when I go to, and I'm not joking on any brother and talking down on, but it hurts my heart when I see a man is begging, and I say, yo, brother, what were you doing up until that? Man, things happen. And I understand things do happen, but this is why we always prepare for that day. This is why us as men, we need to start learning how to prepare for that day, because nobody's going to feel sorry for you. It's 2018. And it's time for us to start learning how to put away for that rainy day. You think the squirrel wants to go out and risk himself against the hawk and the fox and everybody to go prepare for the wintertime? But you understand, if I don't prepare for the wintertime, I don't eat. I don't survive. And that's something that us as men, we need to start learning how to do. Start gaining knowledge. Whenever another man is teaching or talking about something, sometimes we got to learn how to shut up and listen. You may think you know the answer, and you probably do. But you need to learn how to have some patience and be quiet and listen. I don't know. Listen, I don't know everything. MOT might just know something. I don't know. But I'm willing to shut up and be humble and listen to this brother. MOT, you got anything you want to put in on these brothers?
Yeah. You have to understand that self-preservation starts with self. You
Yes.
know, not family, not friends, not the dudes you hang out with. Self. And all that time that you're spending working on yourself, man, you're gonna get all that time back. You're gonna get it all back. I mean, doing some of the stuff I had to do, I didn't like it, but where I am now, where I get to enjoy myself right now, it was worth it. All of it was worth it. And
Mm.
you also got to make sure that you're on the path to where you can foresee results. You can see other people are going through X and they have this result. You just can't be working hard for the sake of working hard. You got to have a point to it. That's why coming up with these goals, 1 year, 5 years, 6 months, things you need to change. This is why this stuff is important, man. Because if you don't see your progress, then nobody else is going to notice. Sometimes you have to stop eating that cheap ass food. Sometimes you have to stop drinking so much. Sometimes you have to stop doing all the stuff that you do to waste time. Sometimes you have to invest more in the books associated with your craft. Sometimes you have to. And you have to keep up with your stuff so that way you don't fall behind again. Because resting on your laurels is an amazing way to seep right back into failure, man. It's never over. You're always gonna have to keep working toward your goal. You get one goal, bam, go create another goal. So that way you're always working towards something. Because there is no sympathy for men when it comes to failure. Women, they got welfare, they got shelters for them and the kids, X, Y. There's nothing for me. Period. Nothing. So you can easily not be one of those guys. Starting today. So you have to be like, hey man, I really want to change. So you gotta change them friends. You gotta be able to change who you hang around. You have to be able to change how often you're on social media and why are you on there. You have to change a lot of stuff. Because remember, you have to be honest with yourself about where you currently are and how you got there.
Ooh,
It's
that's a
the
good
only
one.
way this stuff gonna be able to change.
That's a good one. That is a real good one. I had to learn that the hard way for myself. And I ain't gonna lie, for a good few months, I was sleeping from my car to the security guard shack, which they put a cot and they had a pillow and they put a TV in there for me. I mean, I could have gone home, but the time it took me to get home, I was getting back up to go right back. My to get to work was an hour and a half, and I was working 10-hour shifts. But I understood that I didn't want to do that forever, and that's something that just like MOT was just saying, we got to ask ourselves: do you want to do what you're doing right now forever, or do you want to go to a higher level? And if you do, what are you willing to do to get there? Are you going to go start studying in some books? I know some of us, we say, well, I'm too old to learn. You're never too old to learn. Stop telling yourself that. If a roadblock were to come to you and say that, guess what? You can't do such and such. Do you just give up or do you go find another way? This is things that us as men, we need to start teaching and start understanding and start building to ourselves. We need to start learning how to, before you start supporting everybody else, support yourself. Teach yourself. Learn how to listen and learn how to pick up skills and crafts from different other people. I literally had an old Indian man say, listen, he told me this thing all the way in Indonesia. He said, listen, you talk too much, American. I said, sir, you talk too much. Listen. Just listen. This was a man who was over 90 years old. He said, I talk too much. He said, you want to know how you can make it to where I am today? Mind you, this man is rich. He said the first thing to becoming successful is you learn to shut up. That's the first thing about successful people they like to do. Successful people like to listen and keep their ear to the ground to hear what other brothers and other people are saying. So they can understand what information that they need and what information they don't need. That's how you become successful. You got to learn how to discern information that you need and that you don't need. Skills you need and you don't need. People you need and you don't need. We ain't want to be on here too long, but we like to keep our sermons short for you brothers. But that's how you're going to be able to start getting. You got to start, first of all, assess your situation and start telling yourself you can learn from where you are right now and start building up. Start going and picking up knowledge and picking up education and skills and crafts and meeting. Don't just talk to people. Find out about them and find out what can this person do that can help me get to the next level. I know some of y'all brothers believe you got to have a woman. I'll tell you right now, you don't need a woman. I know some of y'all women that ain't gonna like hearing that if y'all listening. But you black men, you don't need a woman to be successful. That was the biggest lie that was ever told to you.
Or to be happy either.
Or to be happy. Ooh, excuse me about that. I know MOT was going. I knew he was coming in. You do not need a woman to be happy or to be successful. That is the biggest lie that was ever told to us. You can't appreciate yourself. How can you need to start learning how to appreciate yourself and the stuff that you've already been through. I'm telling you right now, when I look at what I got around me, I'm appreciative, but I knew what it took 10 years of hard-earned blood, sweat, and tears to get to where I am today. You can't tell me nothing. You can't. This door, everything I do, everything that me and MOT are building, we did this. We did this. But we had to go through some things to appreciate what we have. MOT, what you got? What you want to wrap up and tell them for the solution that they needed to heed?
Yeah, the solution is, man, you just got to do different things to be successful, man. Because you have to be really honest with where you are. What other people you see would go from your situation currently, your current way of thinking, to move somewhere else. It's just that you, you have to understand that you do have time enough to change. You do. Let nobody tell you different. If they're telling you different, then chances are you don't need to be around those people. And you have to be able to know that this road is going to be very lonely. That's why you need to fill that time with books on tape, with other stuff, rather than just dead air. You got to keep that entertainment to a minimum. You got to make your hobby is being better is your hobby. Being better at your craft need to be your hobby. If you spend 16, 18 hours a week playing the damn video game, then perhaps you need to be listening to a book on tape while you're doing that. You just got to be able to put yourself in a position to where you don't need a lot of people. So that way you could be able to move to the money. So that way you don't get attached or trapped in one place. So when a certain industry goes away and it moves to another place, you got to be able to move towards that. Not be able to sit it out. Because that sitting out thing, that ain't for you. It's for other people. So that's all I got, man.
That was good. That was good. We'd like to thank all you brothers who have tuned in and listening, who have been supporting the congregation. We are growing steadily, stronger, and we're bringing y'all better and better content that we believe that you brothers deserved. Again, we have Black Men's Congregation. It is a Facebook page that is for Black men only, in which you can come in and you can talk, you can network, you can share ideas, strategies, life coaching skills. You can network about work. We're not there to gossip and talk about women. Y'all want to do that? Y'all can go to other Facebook groups and talk about women all damn day. But here, we don't do that. We focus on us, on how to build and better us. That's what we're about. That you can take the thing. I love it when brothers contact me or they'll ask MOT, yo, I tried out, I got what you're saying and it's working. I'm like, yes, that's what we care to hear. We're not telling you stuff just to make you feel good, but stuff that you need so that way you can be good men. Be good men. We ain't trying to tell you that you got to go save people and communities and all that stuff. Save yourself first. Do that. But we thank y'all for joining us today on Black Men's Congregation. We thank y'all for the support. We ask you to share the channel. Bring other brothers to the group that are serious to come into work. This is Joe from Black Male Talk on Black Men's Congregation. And this is also Man of Tomorrow, a Black Men's Congregation. We thank y'all for coming. And we ask y'all to please tune in next Sunday from 12 to 1, where we can give you another sermon of Black Men's Congregation. Y'all take care. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and support the channel. You guys, y'all have a good night and a good day. Peace.